Hello, crafty friends. How are you today? So I am pleased to be kicking off our Wonderful Wednesday with Take 5, our event today. And I'm streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So if you see me answer comments or, seem to be responding to somebody you don't see, that would be why. They're over on the other platform. They're somewhere. They're somewhere you can't see. So that is what is going on. So I'm going to just real quickly put myself in another couple of places here. So I hope you're having a good start to your Wednesday. And we are going to do some work with some free printables that came in my newsletter this week that I sent out. And you can still get those. There's a featured link on my Facebook page. I don't think I was able to put that link in the description of over on YouTube. I'll have to get that in there later. I guess you could watch now and and find that later. Hi Minnie, hi Jeannie. Thanks Jeannie for sprinkling me over there. I appreciate that. And so we are going to get started in just a second. We are going to use those printables and we're going to do a couple things with them. I thought we would make something that you could just pop in a frame if you wanted to and use for a little bit of decor, or if you want to make like a little book, a little journal, we're going to do that too. Hi Janet, how are you? So those are the things we're going to be working on today. I should have brought something in here for a drink of water or something. Some days are just like that, right? Okay, I gotta find where I am here so I can make sure to see comments. Okay, there we go. I got it. I got it. All right. Okay, I'm ready, you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna change it down here to the desk view so that you can see what I've got going on here. Hi, Deborah. How are you? Oh, thanks, Jeannie. Nothing very special today. Okay. I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I'm just going to put it down on the desk. Okay. Alrighty then. Now we're good to go. So, to make I got some of these things out to do with the printable, or the decor piece. So I'm going to set those aside for now so they are not in my way. And so this was the printables for this week. There were, I think, 3 pages and then some tags. Oh, I can't get them here. So there was this sheet that is more of a full sheet. Hang on just a second. Hi Sue. Let me pull back a tiny bit so you can see better. There. So there was this full sheet that is, takes up most of the page, but there's a lot of things you could do with that. And then this would be perfect to use actually for, 2 pages. We could fold it in half. There is, I got them in the way and I can't even see what I'm doing. There was this page that was more of a solid page, and you could use this. I printed some of these back to back so that they were just an extra solid page. They're easy to write on. They're light enough that you're not gonna, have any problem seeing what you write. And on this, and see, I put it on this one too. It's just very light. This paper, you can see through that, but that's okay. And then there was this one. So 2 print pages, the solid page, and then I did some tags with some of the same flowers on here. And I printed this one on cardstock. So we've got that. We can play around with that one if we want to. So basically, I printed one of these full sheets on a piece of cardstock to use later. Okay, let me get that out of the way too. Okay, so basically we can just put all these together. I need to trim the white strips off of the edges. I thought that my printer I thought I could get it to print borderless, but for some reason I have not had any luck doing that. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I just forgot how. Who knows? So with these colors, I've got a couple of options to make a cover out of. And it's so funny because when I was over by my my colored cardstock, they both looked like good options. And at this point, you know, there's one of them that I think looks a whole lot better than the other. Which one do you guys think you would use? Which one do you recommend that we use for this project today? I'm going to call it bright or light. Which one do you guys think? Let me know. Thanks, Deborah. Bright or light? Oh, can you believe it's already Wednesday? It seems like we just zoom through these days so rapidly. And I can't believe that we're already past the middle of February this year. Hard to believe. Oh, Janet wants the bright one. Okay. Any other votes? Oh, thanks for sprinkling that out, Deborah. I appreciate that. The bright. Everybody's saying the bright. Okay. We got two votes for bright. Well, let me just wait another couple of seconds, see if we get any more votes in. And either one of them are going to look, you know, fine. And it's just going to be the outside cover, right? So it really doesn't matter what we use. It's just going to be the outside cover. The one thing about making your own little journals like this is that, you know, they're easy. You can put in however many pages that you want to and just leave it at that. And, you know, you can write in it, fill it up, and you're done. Just, you know, stick it on the shelf or put it somewhere you can look. Oh, so we got 3 brights. Okay, I'm going to go with bright. Let's do it. Thank you, everybody, for commenting on that. Okay, so I'm just going to move that out of the way for a second, and we'll do some measurements on that in a minute. So because this is 8.5 by 11 and it has this white border around the edge, I have already measured it, and I think the best size that we're going to get out of this for our little journal is going to make it an 8. What did I do with my, oh, here it is. I lost my paper trimmer. Okay, so we're going to make these at, when folded, they're going to be 8 inches tall and then 5 1/4 inches wide, I think. I think that'll do it. So I need to trim these little white strips off. Now, why I didn't already do this, who knows? Who knows why I didn't do it? Oh, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. Even my junk journals are a little probably more clean than what some people, you know, in fact, I wouldn't even call mine junk journals. I usually don't put too much junk in what I am making, so I wouldn't even call them junk journals, really, I guess. I like that. I like to look at other people's, and then when I make mine, they just don't have a lot of, you know, a lot of the other things that people include in theirs. And that's fine. You know, that's, you know, if you make yours more clean and with new things, that's your method. That's your technique. You know, if you like to use all kinds of things that you have gathered up from everywhere, that's your technique. And that truly is more what, you know, junk journaling is all about. Is, you know, let me see if I can do a couple of these at a time. You know, I probably should. You know what? I did not even measure those. You guys, that would have been a smarter thing to do. So these need to be, I didn't think about it. These need to be 8 inches this way. And I might just cut only, I think I'm just going to cut, well, that doesn't have anything to cut off. To get it to 8, it's only 1/4 inch. I think I'd rather have more of this white right here. Let me cut that 1/4 inch off this side instead. You know, sometimes you have to look at your print and see what's going on to make sure you know, can decide which way you really want it to go. Okay, so yeah, 8 inches this way, and then we need it 10 1/2 going this way. Okay, so just a little bit. I just had to trim a little bit more off. Okay. Thanks, Monica. Yeah, Jeannie, aren't those pretty? They're just so soft and pretty. And I think I might be able to cut 3 at a time. Let's see if we can't cut 3 at a time. And I'm just going to cut a little more. There we go. Yep, that's plenty. And now I should. Now, you know, if you want it straight, the best way is to cut off and then turn to the line you just cut because you know it's straight. So that is usually your best bet. Okay, so now this way I need it to be the 8 inches this way. So we'll just go ahead and line it up at 8. And then it's 10.5 this way. Just stack them up. And then I'm just hoping that I'm cutting off the whole white strip on the edge. That I didn't, you know, think about that wrong. And then I've got a part I didn't get done right. And I don't have a terrible, you know, a great big amount of these. So, okay, let's just trim off some here. And if you don't get them all lined up, you know, this is the easiest way, is just to, you know, if you could do several at a time. And some trimmers are easier to do that with than others. You just kind of have to play around with what you've got. All right, and just flip it around here one more time and do our 10.5 going this way. All right. Oh, I got one more here. I thought I had them all. One more. Just one more. So yeah, these are papers that I put for free printables in with my newsletter. I've kind of changed up my newsletter. So we're going to have a little bit of a newsletter, and we're going to include, you know, a printable or two every week. So this was just kind of a sample. I kind of made more like a little collection this time. I thought that would be fun to get us started. Okay, let me get these out of the way. All right, so we've got those there, and let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and get them folded in half. I'm going to grab my stylus here. Oh, Wendy's in the car. Hi, Wendy. So this is going to be, we cut this at 10.5 this way, so in the middle is going to be 5 1/4. So I am just going to score each of those at 5 1/4. And you don't have to have, if you've got one of these score or paper trimmers that has like the little divot here for your, what am I trying to say? For the blade, where the blade goes through, you can use that as your scoring guide. Don't press too hard. If you're just using, this is copy or like printer paper that is it's 28 pound printer paper. So, you know, it's a little bit heavier. It's not super heavy, but you know, you want something with a little, you don't want it to be too thin. So this way you can use it however you want, and it's not so thin. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with using some things that are thin. I've got a couple of other things we're going to put in here too. Hi, Linda. So just 5 1/4 on all of these. Oh, I probably should have been using, you know, a stylus usually has 2 ends. Hi there, Susan. A stylus usually has 2 ends. I don't know if you can see here very easy, but this, let's put a piece of paper up here behind it. Can you see how one end of the style, woo, quit rolling around. One end, one little ball on the end is bigger than the other one, right? And so, you know, that's kind of helpful. And I should have probably been using the larger one because it's not so prone to, you know, tear into the papers. We'll just do these, and these are going to you know, I mean, we can, it's going to be 5 1/4 either direction. When we put our pages together, we can decide, you know, which way we want this facing. And I think one nice thing about that would be to put it to where we can have the pages different, you know, wherever we end up finding them in the little journal. Okay, let's go ahead, since we've got our paper cutter out here, let's figure out how big we want to make our cover. Okay, so our cover is going to be our pages. Okay, so our pages were 10.5 inches wide, right? And then they were 8 inches tall. Okay, so we want to add a little bit to this, and I want to add 1/4 inch because I'm going to make a tiny little spine, and we're going to sew our pages right into the little spine. So we're going to add 1/4 inch for that, and then I'm going to add another 1/4 inch just to make sure that I've got a little bit to hang off of each side. All right, and for the 8 inches, I'm just going to add 1/4 inch that way for the height. So it's a tiny bit larger than our pages are. Okay, so basically, you know, 1/4 and 1/4, that's a half. We've already got 10.5, so this is going to be 11 inches, and then this one is going to be 8. Should put an equal 8 1/4. So that's the size that we're going to cut our paper here. And I want to make sure, to get my best way to fold it, I want to make sure that I am folding with the grain. And I can see, if you just take your paper and you give it a bend like this, you can feel which way it wants to bend the easiest, okay? And it's this way. So I want to make my score marks going this way. So I need my height of my booklet to go this way. So I need to trim it off. So this way is going to be my 8 1/4 inches. We'll just trim that there. And then we need it to be 11 inches wide. So when you've got a 12 by 12 piece of paper, you know, you can do all this fun stuff with it. You can make it however big you want. And a lot of times a 12 by 12 piece is big enough to cover your journals with, even if it's a decorative piece. I'm going to save this because we can use that to make our little, figure our little spine measurements, okay? Okay, oops. So, okay, now we got to score this way. So we want our first score. Okay, we've added, basically we've only added 1/4 inch. So we need 1/8 inch. So our pages were 5.5. No. What are they? They're 5 1/4. Okay. So we've got our 5 1/4, and we're going to bump it out 1/8 inch because that's going to be half of that 1/4 inch that we've made. We're just going to do one score mark there. And then we're going to do another one 1/4 inch over. It's going to make our tiny little spine. And then we're done. And if you just want to make sure you got it right, flip it around here and make sure the other side measures the same. So yes, here was 5 1/4 and our other 1/8 inch. So we're good to go. Now we got our little cover made. All right, now let's go ahead and trim our little spine here too. So this was 8 1/4. So let's cut that. Oh, exactly 8 1/4 already. Oh, it probably was trimmed off of what we were already doing, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to fold it in half. This is going to be helping us to measure where we're going to be doing our little stitch marks, okay? So there's half. Now we don't want I'm going to put this down like 1/2 inch in here. Actually, let's try and fold it this way too. And you can just take these and just fold them to get your measurement for where you want to stitch. And maybe this was, but I'm going to show you a 5-hole pamphlet stitch today. Hi Stephanie, how are you? Oh yeah, right? Those are so fun. I love those. We'll have another one coming up on, I think it's the first Tuesday, so check me out then too. I'm in that one too. Okay, so we've got, this is where this was going to be. Let's do one about, you know, and I think I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch. So we got 3/4 of an inch here. Let's do 3/4 of an inch down here. Because when you're stitching them in, they don't need to be all the way to the end. They're going to hold in, but this is what we want to do. Oh, and wouldn't you know, I have some crazy measurement there. That's one reason we like these Tim Holtz rulers, because it's got that 0 right there in the middle, and we can figure out where the middle of things are, or where a middle is. I guess that's a better way to say it. So that's 3/4. Okay, right about there. So you just keep scooching that 0 to where you've got an equal distance on each side. And it doesn't, I should have paid attention so I would know where it was. Oop, I gotta use the 0. So there's 3/4. It's not quite there. Okay. So when we get ready, we're going to put holes in each one of these places. So I can just set this aside, and we're going to work on our pages now. So we're just going to put these together, and I did have another couple of fun little things. What did I do with them? To insert. Well, I thought I had a couple. Oh, there they are. Look, I'm just going to put in a coffee filter. Now this is, oh, this one's kind of long. Sometimes you get these in here and they're too short to reach, and this is why I wanted to show you how to do the 5-hole pamphlet stitch, right? Because sometimes, let's look at this. If we fold these things in half, sometimes we do not get a good place. Well, I got 2 of them. We can fold them in there in other places. So you want to fold this in half. It's just like one of these little paper doilies. And you know, a good place to get these is over anymore. All of these places that have what am I trying? Food things like food decorating and things like that. You know, they've got everything over there, and that's one of these places where you can get the little paper doilies. So grab those on sale. But now you can see, if we were going to just use the 3 holes, the 3 holes would have come here, here, and here. So I'd only have 1 right here. So when I make it the 5-hole stitch, then I've still got 3 of them that it's going to hold it in. So, you know, that's kind of a handy thing. And this is just a paper filter. And I thought it's kind of neutral color would look pretty too. I'm just going to put it in here. If it sticks out either way, that'll be fine. Oh, look, there was another one too. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold some of these up. And you can either fold them to where they're like this, or you can fold them the other way. And you might want to do, you know, both. So I'm just going to put one of the plain ones in between each one. Oh, and I forgot to say, one of my paper crafter friends reminded me of making the little journal thing and putting its little stitch right in its little spine. And her name is Patty. and she made the cutest little video. She said it was her first video she made, and she did it of one of her little journals that she had put together. And I always love seeing everybody's work, you know, that they watch people and then they go ahead and make the things, and that's always fun. We always love to see that people are making the things we've shown. Okay, so this is on the outside. Let's put this one on the inside. So as we go through, we have a variety of where we're looking at. Okay, so this one, we've got this flower over here, and I'm going to put it on the inside here. So it'll be on that back page. And then let's put this one going this way. And we could actually, you know, do it like this too. Either way. Now we'd have quite a bit of white right here, and then as we go, well, it makes it kind of backwards. I don't like it like that. You know, you just twist and turn your papers, decide how you want to put them in there, right? And then just start layering them up. And then we're going to have a lot of these pale pink colors together, which, you know, we can either do other decorating on at some point. I didn't print, you know, I'm looking at this now, I'm like, I didn't print enough papers for doing any pockets or anything. I don't know why I didn't do that. I can put this one in here. Let me just make sure this is folded. I guess I could make some little pockets with the doilies. We could do that. I could keep one of these out. I got plenty of printer paper here that's just white, but there's all kinds of things you can do, right? Whatever you want to do. You can make pockets, you can make little tuck spots. You can make all kinds of little flip-flop things to go in. In fact, maybe we could do that. Maybe we'll just make a little flippy flap. I think I'll put one of these inside this. So then as we open it, we've kind of got a 2-for-1 there. Got this one and then this one. Put this paper in here. These things are just want to slide everywhere today. Here's another printed one. Let's put this one here. What we got going over here? We got 2 more of those. Well, maybe we'll save one and make some pockets then if we've got enough time. That was just our measurements. Here's this one. Maybe I'll put another doily in here. Okay. Let's just do that. But I do think I want to I'll keep this one for the center. That's kind of pretty. Okay, now you just got to stack them all up. And they are not, it doesn't look like they were cut very even. That's okay. Let me make sure. I just want to flip through and make sure the doilies are kind of still half in. That looks good there. That is not. Oh, my fan is blowing stuff around, you guys. Okay. Okay. Now, let me get a couple of little clippies. So when you get ready to bind them all together, I'm going to get them even. And it's okay if they're off a little bit. We can trim them, so don't worry about that. So we're just going to clip them so they don't move all around. I usually do at least probably 3 of them. I don't know why. I usually do one on both sides there. That's kind of, that is still, I'm struggling here. I'm struggling today. I don't know what's going on there. And you can just re-clip them so you can try and get them as straight as you can. And like I said, you can still trim them off. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to lay this in here. And even that is off a little bit. I'm going to clip it. Oh my goodness, you guys. Hey, Linda. Thank you. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, so somehow our little measurement got off. So just kind of put it in the middle. And you know what? It's not going to matter one way or the other if it's a little bit off. I usually try to already have have my needle threaded. Okay, so next we're going to take these and we're going to punch a hole in all of these little spaces. So I've got my self-healing mat down here already, so we'll just work on top of the mat. We're just going to punch these holes, and if you lose your little top, just use like an old eraser thing. These are those kind that come off of those mechanical pencils, and so you know those are a good thing to use like that. So we're going to poke it right in the middle here, and if you've got a bigger awl, you know, that works good too. These usually are plenty big enough holes. Just make sure you get all the way down in there. We're just doing it in the center. Hopefully it's really the center when it comes out the other side. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Excellent. We're just going to do 5 because we're going to try that 5-hole pamphlet stitch so we can catch the smaller pieces we've got. Okay. That mat is kind of thick. It's kind of hard to tell when it goes through the mat. Okay, got it. Let me make sure it came through on all of them. It did. It's enough. All right. So now I don't need the guide anymore, so we're going to slide it out. I'm still going to leave these here so they'll stay. We're going to get our needle threaded. And I like to, if you've got your thread that's on some kind of a cardboard or something, I like to stick a little notch in here so I can, when I'm done, I put that through there and then I can find, man, this looks like a big needle. Then I can find the end real easy. Let me look in here in my little box of binding things. See if these look thinner. I think this is a little bit thinner and I'm going to use that one. I don't really need to put giant holes in here in these pieces of paper. Okay. One thing about nice big holes is older eyes can find them. So basically I do like a little bit more than, well, I want to put the, I don't know, I want to make sure I have enough. I'm going to do a little bit over 3 times the length here, or the height of my journal. Okay, and again, like I said, I just take this end and just poke it up there so I don't lose it for next time. Okay, so now if you want your ties to come out inside, start, you know, with your book open like this. I actually want the back of mine to come out because I think I might try to add some other little dangly things right on to this thread. And it'll be in the middle, but I don't care. I just want to do that. So I want to try to put some of those on there. Here's my little eraser loose. So I'm going to start here. And I got to think about this. Every time I do this, I got to think about it. Oh my goodness, this has got kind of a messed up spot. I hope that'll go through easy as I lengthen it up. Okay, so we go down through this hole in the center, okay? Down through there. And we're going to have our one little tail right there. And then we're going to come up through this one. Oh, you guys. Stop, stop, stop. Oh my goodness. We were supposed to be stitching it into the little spine. Almost forgot. Me oh my. Okay, so okay. So now I gotta get it into the center of the spine, and you just kind of find it there. And just kind of square it up so we've got the same amount on the top and the bottom. Boy, I almost forgot. Well, that was an excellent time to remember. Now we got to get out our little pokey thing again. At least the main holes are already done. You know, if you put this through, if you've got something that's more like a mouse pad or something, they have these little foamy deals that you can poke into as well. And those make a nice way to make sure your hole is all the way through. Okay, now we got it, people. Okay, let's start again. So down through the middle, was just enough to get the needle in there. Okay, and then up through this one. Okay, and down through this one. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? I have been thinking about you and your family, and I can't believe you're on here today. I thought I have got to reach out to her and see what's going on. Okay, now we're going back through this one. I hope you guys are doing well, but I need an update. Okay, and now we're going to go all the way over here, and then we'll go down through this one. But see, by doing 5 of these, we're going to catch those smaller pieces. So this one went from this hole to this. And now up through here. That's not quite in the center of the spine, but it'll work. And then down through this one. I should do a diagram or something. And then we're coming back up through the center hole. And sometimes it helps. And you want to be on the other side of the string. Oh, I had quite a bit. And then you can just tighten it up. I could have left way more than that. And then you just want to tie a little square knot. So a square knot, you loop it over. Let's say this one is looping over the left one and through. And then this time you take the left one and loop over the right one. And that's a square knot. And usually I do one more for good measure. Thanks, Minnie. Okay, so now I've got those, and I don't care they're on the back because I'm gonna probably end up putting something fun on them. We'll use those and kind of string a few little beads or something on, some charms, whatever we want. But then we've got those on the back. Now we've got all of this all in here. Oh shoot, you know what I didn't do? Well, I still can fix this part. So now that we're folding here, we can see that these, if you want to, you can leave them like this. They're not even, but what you can do if you want is just take those, fold them out like this, and then just take your ruler. And I like to use, you can use a little craft knife if you want to. I kind of like using, I've got an old rotary cutter here that the blade is kind of messed up and it's not good for fabric right now. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to hold it tight and then just trim those off. And it'll probably take me several passes to get through the paper. You just kind of keep doing those. And just take your time. Oh, I feel like my ruler keeps moving along. I just don't know what those are going to look like. Kind of a mess. Just take your time though, and they'll just come off as you go through each one. It probably would have been easier if I'd have stood up. Okay, some of those. And that way, then they're more even, and then they're tidy. So there you go. I got those all tidied up there. I'm going to put my my threaded needle back over here so I can find it next time. I like that when it's not so thick. Okay, look at that. I always tell you guys what a messy crafter I am, but look, there are actually some things I actually take care of as soon as I'm done. Okay, now then we've got some other fun things we could do in here. So here's our papers. And again, if you're just, if you're just coming on, this was the freebie this week for that came out with my newsletter, and you can still get it. I changed it so that this would be like your immediate thing that you would get as your thank you, so that if you saw this today and you still wanted that, you could. Oh, Stephanie says they're finally not sick this week. Brian has his checkup. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he's had surgery and he's probably been on some kind of therapy. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad. It sounds like he's probably doing pretty good then, right, Stephanie? I'm so glad you popped on. Okay, so let's do something fun here. Let's use one of these. And, oh, I know what we could do. Let's cut this in half. I don't know what half is of a circle like that. I'm going to have to fold it in the first place so I can get an idea. Oh, you know what? Oh, this is a better idea. If we just leave it together in half, it'll be a lot more sturdy. So let's do that, and let's just put a little glue around its edges here. And some other little places, and just glue it in half. And that'll make it a little bit more sturdy. That's not exact, but it'll be fine. Look, and you can see it's not true on each side of that half, because when you fold it, it's got things that are covering up some of those. So it's not exactly, what do I want to say? It's not exact on both sides. So I don't know, this might be kind of fun on this one too. Should we cut it in half? I'm going to cut it in half and just use a corner as a tuck spot. There. Just put it like that. Ooh, look at that. I like that. That's kind of fun. See, you can always make something fun, right? Okay, so when we're going to do a tuck spot, we are just going to put the glue on two sides. Okay, so just two sides. And then we've got that little tuck spot. Right like that. And then maybe on the back of this other side, let's do something different over there. We've got this, and this will be pretty because we've got floral over here, and then we can use this in the plain cover. So let's cut a piece off of this. And I'm just going to cut it kind of in half. And we're going to give it just a tiny, I want to use the one that's darker. I want this side. I want to give it a tiny score. I'm going to score it at about, I'm going to do about 3, well, we could do 1/4 of an inch. That'd be fine. And then we're going to fold this under and make this kind of a little glue tab. We're going to glue it, and we'll make us a little flip flap on the outside, or on this back cover. Boy, that did not, let me do that again. For scoring, that did not, that's not folding very easy. Let me try again. And it's going to be going both ways, actually, so let's score it on both sides. All you're doing is massaging that paper so it bends nice. And some paper has a real problem of cracking. And when it cracks like that, it's just such a pain. That looks pretty much the same on both sides the way we've got it now. Let's make sure it's going to fit. Yep. So let's just put it to the edge. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue along here, glue it in. And I'm going to lay it down to fold it, or to put it in. I'm going to lay it down, but then and kind of slide it so it's even. That's not even. That's why I like to use liquid glue. Gives me a second. And I'm going to fold that out. I'm going to fold it out to make sure it's not glued shut. Okay. Now, by using a 12 by 12 piece, I still have this piece that I could, use to make a pocket, or, something like that. So that would be kind of fun. But you know what? I also, oh, I forgot the tags, you guys. So the tags I printed on cardstock. So all I'd have to do is, cut these out. I did want to make something else here, though. I thought about, this is on cardstock too, and I thought it'd be fun to make something that you could use for, a little bit of decor. You could put it, and if you're going to put it in a frame, you could just leave these edges because usually a frame is going to cover up those, right? Oh, Donna, that's okay. What is that? A dotting tool for the score. You know, Stephanie, I think that those, it's called a stylus. And I think that a lot of people use something like that to make their dots with. And it certainly is easy to use with, you know, paint or something because it's already a little circle. It's like sometimes people will just use the end of a paintbrush or something. But that's very easy to make little dots with. So, but it's called a stylus. And it actually came with a scoring board. So I've got these. No, this isn't the one I was going to use. I've got some things that are super old, you guys. And I wanted to see how this would look if it would fit or it was just going to be too small. And I am not sure. Let's just take a quick peek and see. But we're here in the Take 5 group today, and so oh my goodness, who's after me? I think Jeannie. I think Jeannie's palette is after me today. I forgot to put that in my info. That was naughty of me. Let me look real quick and see if I can find out who's after me. I usually try to tell who is after me. Let me take a quick peek. I'll take a gander, as they say. Who is they? Who says that? I'm sure many of you have heard that though, right? Yes, Jeannie is going to be after me from Jeannie's palette. So be sure and stay and pop in and see what Jeannie's up to. What did I do? Did I just close where I was looking at comments? Yes, I did. That's not helpful. Okay, so I wanted to see if that's just going to be so small. The Friends Forever is so small. I could add some like little flourishes. That just seems like too much. That's just over the top. These were mostly meant for, you know, things like cards and things like that. The Cherish is really big, but I don't have anything else that would go with it. Let me just cut this out and see. I can't really tell with all these other words on here. This is just a rub-on. So some of the, and it's old. Who knows if it'll even still work well. I used to hear people talk about how they just had so many problems and the things wouldn't come off, and I thought, oh, I've never had that problem. Well, if you had good quality rub-ons, no, you weren't having that problem, but it was for sure a problem. It could be a problem. Oh, it's just so tiny. It's just too tiny if you were gonna want to frame it. Here's one that says beauty is an attitude. All of these are too small, you guys. It would have been easier to just print something on it. Which, you know, and that's something that you could easily do. You get the printable, it's in a PDF file, but you could save it out if you wanted to and put it like in Canva or whatever, and you could put your own words on here and size it up and put your words on, and that would be easy to do. But I had some other fun things that I found that I thought would be pretty to put on here to just kind of enhance what was going on. This is some of that Paper Studio stuff I told you I got at Hobby Lobby, and I just got it. I wait till it's on sale. But look at all these fun things on here. Look how bright and pretty they are. And I saw this morning. I'm like, oh my goodness, some of that would look gorgeous on here. If I can get it open, it'll look gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I know, and a lot of people hate that crinkly sound in their ears. I want to see this butterfly. I want some of those butterflies. Maybe I can still find some words after a while. There's lots of goodies we could add on here. Look at these butterflies. Oh, look how pretty. There's several of those. Look at the little bird. Put a little bird on there. You could just really add to this. You wouldn't even have to just use it the way it came. Although it's pretty the way, you know, I think it's pretty just like that. But, and usually you would want kind of a bigger butterfly down here. One up here like it's farther away from us. Look how those colors just coordinate really well. I love this little robin down here. Those flowers, he does not, that scale is really crazy. That does not go very good. Look at that. He's way too tiny to be there. That's funny. But I did have these too. I'd gotten these one time. This is from Prima. You know, some of these places, they order in all this stuff. They don't sell them for what they're trying to get for them in the first place. And the next thing you know, they've got them marked down and they're on sale. Look at these. Look how pretty these would be just to put on here and add some other dimension. Some of these little flowers. You could do that. There's all kinds of things that you could do to kind of spiff it up and give it some dimension if you wanted to. I love that. I would probably put some dimensionals on that underneath to lift it up a little better. You could also give it a little bit of ink on the edges so that it kind of stands out a little bit more. All kinds of fun things that you could do. There. Just hit it with a little bit of ink. And I mean, it's already dark around the edges as it is. But just something to give it a little bit more something. And just make it stand out a little bit more. I like that. And the same thing, you can use inks on some of these floral things. You can use them on those. All kinds of ways to, you know, play with your goodies and, you know, give them a little bit more something, right? Yeah, but I like this butterfly. Look how it really coordinates with the blues and that are on there already. I think I am still going to find, I still want to find something for a word, and I might just end up printing it out and then just putting it on my paper up here. So I think I'm just going to leave that. Donna says she always forgets about distressing edges. Yeah, part of the time I do too, and then sometimes I go back and do it, and even if I've got it glued down on a piece of paper, a lot of times I will go back, because you can just hold a piece of paper against it and, you know, and give it a little bit of, you know, color. And like even on something like this, if we decided we wanted to put a little bit of ink on there, all we'd have to do is, you know, put some paper in here and we could just hit it with that. I don't really want to put that brown. Although, you know, this brown color actually kind of coordinates with some of the brown tones in here. I don't know. Let's hit it with a little bit. You know, there we go. And then we've added just a little something to it. It's not just plain white anymore. So it doesn't take very much to add a little bit of depth and dimension to what you're doing. It is almost time for us to go and look at this cool effect you get on something else. And sometimes you can use a piece of this that you have you know, done something like that. You've got a different effect somewhere. Stickles, I know. Hi Tina. Yes, I tell you, between Stickles and Nouveau things, there's gonna be a lot more fun had in this book, I can tell you that. But yeah, I mean, Stickles are one thing. I've got some Stickles over here. I've got I usually use these, it's called Diamond, because it's pretty much clear. And then I have one that's gold, and I just keep them handy over here. But you can see with all the yellow in here on some of these flowers, that would still be pretty to, you know, put on some of those. We've got all the yellows, so the yellows and the golds. How pretty, right? And then, oh look, we could do a little bit more on this one too. And especially since it's right here by this natural coffee filter. Oh my goodness, you know, I just realized what I'm using for a piece of, that was one of the pink pieces that I cut off. I can see it's pale pink now. That's okay. That is fine. We'll just hit this side a little bit too. And you could just, you know, do as much or little as you want. And we could even do some over here on this, on the coffee filter. Do some on its edges. So it has a little something something. Look how pretty that looks. And you know, I really, when I grab those, that's the only kind of coffee filters that I've got, is that natural, I guess it is, not the bleached out ones. And when I grabbed them, I'm like, well, I don't know if that's going to look very good with the pinks and stuff. And I didn't really even think about how much, you know, the neutral colors in here are. So there we go. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. And don't forget, if you don't have yours and you want these free papers this week, you go and get yours. And I'm going to put it, I think, well, there's a post on my thing. I'm going to fix it and I'm going to put it in the description as well. You guys, thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you. I'm going to be live again. No, I won't be live tomorrow. I'll be in Friday Friends event. So I will see you then. Oh, I like to say goodbye with my normal self. Bye, everybody. Take care.